Hey guys, welcome to my office. Normally I say welcome back to the shop, but today I've got an office project I need to do. I've got to get some organization in my editing area here. As you know, we recently moved, and this is a makeshift setup just to get me rolling and get me functional, but it's nowhere near what I need. So I have all my stuff here, but the first thing I need to create is a shelf up here. It goes underneath the sound bar, and we're going to use these floating shelf brackets so it won't really be seen, and I'll walk you through all of that. Also, normally I usually start in a design phase, but there's really not much to a design on this one. It's a shelf with some floating pins. So we'll get through all that, but let's start by heading out to the shop and taking a look at the lumber we're going to use for this project. Okay, so here's the material that my wife picked out for the shelf. It's fir. It's from a local lumber yard called RBM Lumber. Fantastic people to deal with. Lots of kudos to them. I only need about 7 inches, give or take, with the live edge. You know, it'll be more in some places and less in others. So I went ahead and marked a line on here. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut off. I have a few things I'm going to have to deal with. Some knots and some checking. So see where we're at. Maybe there'll be a Dutchman, maybe just some epoxy. We'll see. See where the board takes us. Bark removed. It's time to start taking a look at some epoxy. So I'm not worried about this knot here. I may try to incorporate that as part of my cord management. I'm more concerned with this one right here and getting it stabilized before we go through the drum sander. Okay, so while the epoxy is drying, I'm going to go ahead and mount the brackets to the wall. I've put a level line all the way across, and now I just have to line up the small little bracket right on my mark. And I used a stud finder to find the studs, and then we get a screw in to hold that in place. And you can insert the stud here just so you can see what it looks like. But we'll actually be pulling these out. There's two little set screws in there. We'll set the shelf up in there. And there's little points on the set screw. So we'll use those to actually locate the shelf when it's time to put them on. I know the lighting's not super great in here and it's hard to see, but there are these two little protrusions right here, and these are the set screws that the pins screw onto. They have little points on the end, and we're just going to set that shelf up there and locate where those two go. We'll center them on the board later in the shop, but that gives me my alignment. I'm also going to take a minute or two to kind of lay out where I want to cut some pieces away for cord management so the cords are hidden behind the shelf as best as possible. Okay, I've got my board level on the fence, so that all looks great. I've marked my center. Center of the board, not where I pushed it into the wall because that was just a bit of a guess. But I've got all my center points marked there, set the fence, so the next hole will be on exactly the same line. So if it's not perfectly centered, it'll be close enough and the two will be the same. So we just got to go ahead and drill this hole. Okay, the second hole is all lined up, ready to go. It's level, it's lined up on my fence. Just got to drill the hole. Okay, so now that the holes are all drilled and the plates fit in there nice, I'm just going to line this up and get it square and mark for the locations to take out for the plate. Okay, I got a Forstner bit set up, just big enough to get my cords and things through. I've marked my locations. I'm just going to go ahead and get those drilled and then I'll clean up the holes. Okay, just back to a couple of coats of Armor Seal for finish. It's just a shelf. It doesn't need a lot of protection. It's not going to see a lot of abuse. So, Armor Seal it is. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit for a few hours till it's cured up, block it out to 400, and do it again. I'll probably put, I don't know, about 4 coats on this, and then we'll move back into the office and get it installed. Okay, there it is. Got some cord management to do and obviously some cleanup. So give me a couple hours and We'll drop right back in here and you can see the whole new setup. Well, there it is, guys. Whole new setup. Switching over to Mac from Windows-based machine. It's still here in case I need it, so wish me luck. I'm gonna get into putting this video together so I can get it out for you guys, but the shelf just did wonderful. I highly recommend those pins. So till the next time, guys, take care.